Most brands think scaling Amazon ads means spending more. But after working with billion-dollar brands like Disney and Nickelodeon and 8-figure underdogs like Cryo Concepts, I can tell you that's the fastest way to blow your margin and stall your scale. Instead, here's how we build 500K Amazon ad systems that actually grow with control, not chaos. Now let me tell you what no Amazon ads guru wants to admit. Most PPC problems aren't actually advertising problems. They're hidden conversion traps, like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. If shoppers land on your page and aren't hooked with real psychological storytelling, and if your ad creatives are just spinning 3D renders of a white box, you're not scaling, you're sinking. And I bet no one ever told you that you could make ad creatives on Amazon, right? Yeah, you can. And they're critical to making Amazon's algorithm actually work in your favor. So in this video, I'm going to give you the Underdog Advantage, the same system that we use to take brands like Cryo Concepts from stuck at $0 to $240,000 a month in weeks with great ads pulling 16x ROAS and to over $1 million in sales. This isn't about spending more. It's about finally spending smart. So quick note, if your team is feeling stuck or overwhelmed by Amazon, use our free Amazon bottleneck decoder below. In under 2 minutes, it shows you your biggest Amazon blockage and what to fix, all based on years of battle-tested strategy to show you clearly what's actually holding you back. Here's why most Amazon ad strategies fail. Most brands step onto Amazon expecting it to be a plug-and-play growth channel, but what they find instead is a mirage. The more money they throw in, the more confusing the results become. It looks simple from the outside, but once you're in, it's like trying to solve a 1,000-piece puzzle without the box. It's like you have data, but no picture, motion, but no traction. And if you do, you don't have a system, you have a slot machine. We get messages from 7-figure and 8-figure brands every week, smart founders, experienced CMOs, and they're frustrated that they've done all the right things in Amazon ads and are still bleeding margin. Or they're just plain confused by Amazon. And when we audit these accounts, the patterns are crystal clear. Dozens of auto campaigns fighting each other, exact match bids chasing ghosts, creatives that are just there. And that's not that they're lazy. It's that Amazon looks simple, but operates with its own rules. And that means that even great teams are just throwing budgets at symptoms. But here's the kicker. Even if your own ad strategy is flawless, a poor listing will still tank your performance. And if your videos are boring and your images aren't doing their job, or your page just looks like everyone else's, look, Amazon ads just won't work. It all has to work together. And look, Amazon doesn't reward ad spend. It rewards conversion rate. It wants all those fees, the fees that happen on the other end of a sales conversion, and conversions are driven by psychology, visuals, and storytelling. And here's what most CMOs already know in their hearts, but they seem to forget the moment they log into Amazon Seller Central. Testing is everything. You wouldn't launch a meta campaign without creative variations. You wouldn't drop a new product without some kind of validation. But on Amazon, brands keep throwing money at traffic without testing whether their storefront actually converts. And that's a fatal mistake. Because if you're not testing your images, you're not testing your copy, you're not testing your video hooks, then you're not optimizing your ads. You're just guessing with a budget. That's why we start our Amazon ad strategy with the missing multiplier. And this is part 2 of our 500K no bleed ad scaling system, because you've already done the hard part. You got the click. You paid for that visit and then nothing. That's where the real loss happens. Imagine driving a parade of shoppers to your Amazon product page, only to have them bounce faster than a toddler off of a trampoline. That's what happens when your listing doesn't convert. Amazon ad performance doesn't actually start with the ads. It starts with conversion momentum. So before we scale traffic, we test what shoppers actually respond to. That means heat map driven strategies to create images that the eye wants to follow, to high converting video creatives that stop the scroll, to dopamine packed copy that turns browsers into buyers. And look, let me say this about Amazon ads. Video trumps exact match every day of the week. If your video ad creatives are weak, your bids just amplify that loss. And this is the biggest blind spot that we see, even from experienced CMOs. On every other platform, testing is second nature. You A/B test creatives, you build funnels, you iterate fast. But on Amazon, even sophisticated teams seem to toss out their testing instincts and run traffic to static, underperforming pages. That's why we treat creatives as the multiplier. We run controlled tests on copy, visuals, and video hooks, and then let the market crown the winner. Because here's the truth. Amazon doesn't care how clever your ad strategy is. You could be running segmented auto campaigns with the precision of a Swiss watch. You could be migrating keywords to manual like you're diffusing a PPC bomb. You could have exact match campaigns out the wazoo, tag tiered, and tracked to death. And Amazon would still look you in the face and say, cool story. Who's converting the cold clicks, champ? That's why we test everything. Images, copy, video hooks, and let the market tell us what converts. Then we double down. But we also carry that testing methodology into hero campaigns. This is where most brands blow their Amazon advertising budget. By scaling traffic before they've proven that they can convert a browser into a buyer. And let's be real, exact match campaigns are the PPC equivalent of a victory lap. They work great if you already know which search terms convert. But too many brands light them up right out of the gate. That's like throwing a grand opening party before the store even has shelves. So here's how we do it. We only run exact match when the keywords are proven through data, and we only double down on sponsored brand video when we know the creative hits. We don't scale traffic until we know it converts cold. Why? Because by the time we flip these campaigns on, we've already tested what works. That's the power of disciplined, data-driven testing. It's not a gamble, it's just gravity. Then we move on to Shadow Ads Foundation. By this point, we're not guessing. We're placing bets that we've already rigged. You've got tested creatives. You know what converts. Now it's time to multiply it. And this is where most brands go for more keywords, but we go for more buyers. And we do it by building shadow ads. These are precision campaigns that target affinity traffic. That's audiences that your competitors are too distracted to notice and that most managers completely overlook. For example, if you're selling electrolyte tablets, don't just target your direct rivals in hydration powder. Instead, set up ASIN targeted ads on high traffic products like gym towels, fitness journals, or Peloton seat pads. These are fitness-minded buyers who are already looking to improve their game. And I can almost guarantee that your competitors are not targeting these listings. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't know how. But when you get this right, it's stupidly effective. For example, for one exercise band, we got 23x return on ad spend using this exact strategy. And it works because you're showing up in context right when that shopper is primed to buy, not just browsing. These are all built around overlooked, high converting audiences. It's kind of like setting up a taco truck outside a CrossFit gym right before lunch. Nobody's fighting for them, but that crowd is starving. And it's deployed with zero keyword bidding wars, no spreadsheets, no guesswork, no ad manager migraines, just structured to quietly siphon red hot buyer intent the way a Dyson vacuum finds pet hair in carpets. Subtle, but brutally effective. And it's not the spray and pray strategy that most people use. And because we're using proven hooks, visuals, and search behavior from earlier tests, these campaigns don't just scale. They scale without bleeding because every move is backed by data and every creative has been pressure tested and every audience has been pre-qualified. That's the difference between gambling and scaling. And let me do a quick case study and show you what this looks like when it all comes together. Because we didn't just toss together a few lucky campaigns, we helped turn Amazon into a $500,000 sales channel in under 6 months without relying on exact match, keyword spam, and endless budget increases. Cryo Concepts came to us overwhelmed, underperforming, and unsure if Amazon would even be worth it. Sound familiar? But by using our no-bleed Amazon ad strategy, starting with conversion-first creatives, layering on strategic testing, and unlocking affinity traffic, we consistently delivered 2 to 3x ROAS across campaigns. No miracles, just systems. And they went from scattered spend to scalable structure, and the best part, we've got the receipts. If that's exactly what you're dealing with, and you've got a brand looking to launch on Amazon, or if you're already doing 30 or 50K per month, we might be able to help. Hit that link below and book a free discovery call with me. We'll audit your ads, your listing, and whatever is holding you back and give you a real plan. But if you're still piecing all of this together and want to go deeper first, I've got a full playlist covering everything step by step. Click that first video and I'll show you how easy it all can be.